Ooh, that's hot. Today we are drinking ashwagandha tea from India Teas. Ashwagandha tea it's a pretty special tea because it has been proven to help with blood pressure, help your mood. Like if you are a very anxious person, like try a cup of this. It is pretty yummy, but a little bit of sweetener will help bring out the flavor a little bit more. This is the first Q&A that I've done on YouTube in, well, it must be more than 5 years, and I asked it on my community tab, which is a new thing. Let's see, let's go to the community tab. So we have 48 questions. I can't guarantee we're gonna get to all of them, but we'll start with the first one from RayRat331. Would you ever consider unprivating or starting those new sit down, eat with me videos you used to do where you just vent and talk? Those were my favorite videos of yours. See, I get those comments a lot, and that's great feedback for me to know. But like in my head, I'm like, oh, those are the most boring videos that I made. Recently, I did unprivate quite a few of those. I might do a little bit more and maybe make more in the future. Vanelia Cosplay asked, what is your ultimate dream DIY project? This one makes me a little sad. My ultimate dream DIY project is something I dream about every single day, which is just to have a house and do what I did here, but to a house. I've been able to kind of like freely express myself here, but like there are limitations because I don't own, I rent. I want a house so badly. I don't know, mainly a place that has like maybe an acre of land where I could like garden and make a koi pond and like, I don't know, my favorite thing to do is just to sit outside in the morning. Like I get my little cup of tea and I have a little chair that I sit on in my garden and I have Toshi and I curl up and I light my little mosquito candle and I do my affirmations, which is like, it's still a little woo-woo to me. Like I am not a person who, you know, believes in The Secret or the law of attraction or anything like that, but it is really helping me change my thought pattern because I have been prone to kind of like fall into like negative thought patterns and like getting into fits of despair. So it has been helping, and I just love sitting outside. I love feeling the breeze. I love like how quiet it is. I love like seeing my little bug friends, and there's a crow I'm trying to make friends with. He's actually like big enough where I think he might be a raven. He's a big boy. I would love to buy a house, but you know, like all millennials, it's not exactly that easy, but we'll see, maybe in the future. This gal's a regular and I still don't know how to pronounce her username. Plickatul? That's the best I can do. What was your mix CD playlist as a teenager? MySpace playlist? Truly the Wild Wild West for music. Yeah. Okay, so when I was in high school, I graduated in 2007, and that was like the age of emo music. You know, the Black Parade had just come out. So I would say like as a freshman, my main band was AFI. I was like very obsessed with Sing the Sorrows. And then later through like 2005, I got really into My Chemical Romance and I was like obsessed. I went to their Black Parade show, which is like to this day the best concert that I have ever been at, and I got to meet them at that show, which was really special. Punkin Ghost asked, if money were no object, how and where would you live your life? It's so funny you asked that because and we'll talk about this later, I just started rewatching Lord of the Rings, but I'm watching the extended version for the very first time. And I am so in love with the Shire and just like the aesthetic of it, the way of life that they live and things like that. So like I was even watching it last night for like the 8th time, and I was just like, where in the world would be like the Shire? Because I like the idea of like, it's, you know, nice weather and everybody's into their garden and the community is there and they throw parties and they get together, but it's a very like slow paced, like pleasurable way of living that's just very like soft-hearted and focused on nature and their gardens and the people. So I don't know, I guess like if I could find somewhere that is sort of like the Shire, I don't know, I guess that's more like wishful thinking. That's like a little bit more of like a fantasy sort of thing, because I don't know if anywhere in America is truly like the Shire. Fairly Enjoyable asked, do you have any plans on buying or building your own dream home? If I have the financial capabilities of doing that, I will say like all of my planning and preparation and like financial building for a house, unfortunately, was just like decimated during the pandemic, which I know I'm not alone in that, and it still kind of burns me a little bit, but I'm kind of starting from square one to like rebuild that, and I truly don't know if I will ever get to the level that I was, and yeah, so I don't know what it's going to look like. You know, half of the American people cannot afford to buy their own homes, and I'm definitely one of those people. This year, my main goal is to get my student loans paid off, which is a little frustrating because during the period where our president had announced that the loan forgiveness was going to happen, I had gotten approved for $20,000 in loan forgiveness, which would have been the remainder of my loan out of $80,000. So I would have been free, but time passed. I did not get forgiven, and the Supreme Court does what the Supreme Court does, and now they have blocked it. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to pay it off. So basically at the beginning of the year, I was like, I need to make this like the last year, because I cannot stand another year of student loan payments just like being this black cloud over me. So I made the plan, and by December of this year, I should be finished. And I feel like once that's gone, it's like, you know, as long as the economy doesn't get too much worse, maybe I could start like rebuilding for myself. Danny Jones asked, have you redecorated your second bedroom, or does it still have the Beetlejuice stripes? So the second bedroom has been Stefan's office for the past couple of years. However, my cousin might be moving in. I'm not really sure where we're at. So like within the next couple weeks, we might be clearing that room out and then having Stefan move into this area over here. I don't know if that's gonna happen yet, but if it does, I'm really, really excited. I think it'd be really fun to have my cousin as a roommate, because I love my family. Let's see, Punking Ghost asked, are you done with LARP? That's a good question. So LARP is something that takes a lot of time, resources, and money to kind of like maintain a presence there. You know, you are basically camping for a weekend every month. I haven't been at LARP in the past couple, it might have been like 5 months now. The last couple times that I went, I really didn't have fun, and I think that was mostly because I hadn't been maintaining a presence there for my character. So yeah, for this year, I don't think I'm gonna see much of LARP, just because I have so much going on with work and trying to, you know, use the bulk of my financial power to pay off my student loans. If I do go back to LARP, which I'm sure I will, I don't foresee myself making a lot of content about it, because that, when I first started going and I started making content about LARP, it started feeling like work, and it stopped being like play for me. Faith Cates asked, do you still have your Sephiroth shrine, and do you still love Final Fantasy? Unfortunately, the Sephiroth shrine is gone. I still love Final Fantasy and I still love Sephiroth. It has nothing to do with that, but like over the past 5 years, I've become like really sensitive to like the volume of stuff I've accumulated. And I think for a long while, I was like coping with uncomfortable feelings with like retail therapy and just like buying things. And I don't know how or when, but I just started to get like really overwhelmed by like the amount of stuff that I had. And maybe it was around COVID, but I just like started looking at all this stuff that I had, and I was just like, why do I have all this? Like, does it actually make me happy? And it was actually making me feel like really anxious and uncomfortable. So I just started like selling a lot of it, getting rid of it, throwing it away. The Sephiroth shrine was like the last thing to kind of like really get rid of. And I'm glad that I did. Like, I still love the character, and I don't need all of the merchandise to prove to myself or others that I love it, I guess. But I feel a lot more like light after getting rid of it. Here's a question from Charity Chaotic. How is your creative journey going? Are you still painting, making prints? Love seeing your content. You know what? Like, right now I feel like I'm going through like what people call a creative block, which to me, I feel like is just trauma from capitalism. You know what I mean? I feel like visual art specifically like there's such a weird sort of like social element to it, where like if you're not doing it full time and really successful at it, people almost kind of like view you as like less worthy. And I don't adopt those feelings to myself. I don't believe in them, but I still live and exist and forcefully participate in a society that kind of like has that sort of tone to visual art. But right now, I'm not feeling so hot about it. And maybe I just need to continue to kind of like encourage myself, but I also feel like my artistic voice is a little lost, and I feel like, have I been painting what I really want to, or what I'm anticipating that my viewers will like? You know what I mean? So I guess it's just something that I have to like nurture and water and allow it to grow. Brittany Gilbert asked, where do you get all your fabric and how long did it take you over your bedding to finish? Oh, you're talking about the canopy? Okay, so I'm really lucky to live in Los Angeles because we have the fabric district here. The fabric district is like a whole neighborhood of vendors who sell nothing but fabric, and they sell it for amazing prices. Like, I feel so sad for like seamstresses and other creatives who work with fabric that are not in Los Angeles, because the fabric district is just so incredible. Here's a question from Laura Dorr. Would you ever come back to Twitch? Have you been enjoying any new old favorite games-wise? Sending you love. Thank you, Laura. I really liked Twitch. I really did, but oh my God, it takes so much energy to do it. When I see other Twitch creators who are streaming for like 5 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours, and they do that regularly, I'm just like, how? How do you do that? I really struggle with my energy level, and I just feel like no amount of caffeine or exercise or whatever will give me the amount of energy that I feel like I really need to do what I want to do every day. Especially for Twitch, like I would do, 2, maybe 4 hours of streaming and I would be exhausted. I don't know, I want to say yes, but also considering how to like set it back up and remember how all the programs work and stuff like that, I would love to, because the community that I had on Twitch was awesome. Like, there are some girls on there that like I still talk to almost every day. Like we were like friends, and we would have like a Discord server and we'd have like movie night and stuff like that. But there was nothing wrong with it. I just truly did not have the time and the energy to like really nurture it. Ooh, here's one from Heather2222. What is one core memory that you have that shaped you into the woman you are today? I mean, I have a lot, but I would say like the main memories I have that like really shaped who I am, like in terms of like just like my personality, my moral values, like the type of creative person that I am. There have been a handful of times in my life where I've met a master of their respective art, and that person became my friend, and then without expecting anything in return, that person taught me their skill, right? So it was like a really generous skill share that really like changed my life. So it's not even just like learning the art that was impactful to me, but it was the fact that they like nurtured me as a person and as an artist with like asking nothing in return, no benefit to them, but just simply because I guess they saw that like I had the drive and the thirst for knowledge and the respect for the skill. And I guess that's something that I always try to pay it forward. So like if I see somebody who, wants to learn how to do a YouTube channel or wants to learn how to do Twitch or drapery or whatever, I would gladly pass on that knowledge and help in that way. I just think that like teaching someone your skills, like one of the most beautiful things that you can do. Foo987 wanted to know, what are you most proud of about yourself? That's a good question. Okay, so something I've been thinking about lately is like how do I explain this? Right now, at this moment in my life, what I am really proud of is I feel like my heart has softened so much in spite of like all the difficulties and hardships that I've been through. I just feel like it has made me a kinder person, a more empathetic and more driven person. I feel like I am kinder to myself. I am kinder to others. I feel like I have a easier time celebrating the small victories and seeing the beauty in just like the small things. I think it was only like 5 years ago, I would only feel fulfilled if I was super successful and something like super exciting was happening and I was getting so much like fame and attention and praise and, things like that. Things that are just like very, I guess, like superficial in a way. Right now, I am just proud that I am able to like exist and find the beauty in just like simply existing without being super famous or super successful and impressive and, you know, super rich or whatever, because I think that like living in America, and I'm sure you feel this way too, whether you're from America or Europe or wherever you're from, but I feel like because we are forced to participate in a hostile capitalist society, we often feel like, and this is ingrained in us, we didn't choose to believe this, but our self-worth tends to come from our success, you know, which is just not, that's not what we are alive for. I think it's great to take pride in your labor and your skill set, but I just don't agree with the mindset that your worth as a person, as a human being, only comes from how much money you make or how much attention you get or how much fame or whatever. That was a really long tangent and I kind of knew that was coming, but getting back to it, I think I'm just proud that I am nurturing a healthier mindset where I'm kinder to myself and kinder to others and making the most out of a true life that is mutually exclusive from a career, right? So like just sitting outside, that's my favorite thing to do every day. My absolute favorite thing to do. Rachel QY4HC asked, how far are you with learning Japanese on Duolingo? I just got to the second section, so now I'm learning how to like get to know people and how to like, sorry. I'm still really confused with like the grammar pattern of Japanese speaking, because like if we're saying like, hey, where's my red shoe? The way they would say it is, the red shoe that is mine, where is it? You know, so like it's just the pattern that I'm trying to get used to. It's really confusing, but I'm definitely making progress, and I feel like next time I go to Japan, I'll be able to get around pretty good. Boytime8685 asked, would you ever want to make more skits with your figures again? Yes, I really, really want to. This is another thing that just takes, okay, so Dollhouse Drama takes so much time and so much effort, and like it's another one of those things that like it's really strenuous on my body. Like my back would be really, really hurting afterwards, and I know it doesn't look like that. Like when you watch these videos, they're like, you know, a minute each or 5 minutes each, and it looks like I'm just playing with dolls, but like I make the set, I make the script, I move all of the dolls, I do all of the lighting. Like it's a very, very intense and involved solo project. And I don't feel like I want to do it unless it's like to that level that I had created. And I think I'm also just like drawing a little bit of like a creative blank on what I want to make next. I really, really loved making it, and it's like one of my favorite things that I've ever made, but man, it's just hard. It's hard finding the time, the energy, the space to do it. Like, and I have all these other different creative avenues that I'm kind of nurturing right now, the main being painting, and I just, it's hard being pulled in so many different directions and just not having the bandwidth, like mentally and physically, to be able to do it. Fiona Scout 8165 asked, what are you most looking forward to? This summer is wedding season, so we have 3 weddings, including my best friend Sam's, and like, first of all, I love weddings. I love weddings! I love everything about it. It's got everything that I love. It's got cake, dancing, wearing a cute dress. You get to see all your friends and family, and everybody gets drunk. And these specific weddings that we're going to are taking place in like nature, which again is my new favorite thing ever. I love being outside. So we have 2 weddings in Portland and 1 in Ohio, and they're all outside. Sam's is like at a barn. It's a big barn wedding. And then the other 2, one we're going camping for, and then the other, I'm not really sure what it's going to be. It's Stefan's sister, and she's a big outdoorsy gal, so no doubt we'll have to hike to the wedding, which I'm excited about. Jewel Gnomes asked, how does the studio look these days? Can we get an updated tour of your space? Yes, I swear to God, I filmed a little tour actually like months ago. I will tell you, like, anytime I have to film a tour of something, whether it's the house, the studio, or somebody else's house, it's my least favorite thing to film and edit because it's just difficult. Like, you have so much footage of just the space and the little details, and then you have to like take all of it and then rearrange it into like a story and a narrative, and then you have to come up with a script, something that's kind of like appetizing. But like, here's the studio. Yeah, it's probably, if my cousin moves in, it's gonna change a lot more and probably be a little bit more cluttered, which is fine. It's supposed to be. Sometimes like I catch myself like focusing on this space just being like visually pretty and feeling a little bit more like in the house when this is supposed to be like a creative space, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, that video is coming, and then I will do a house tour video, but there are things that I really want to change first. There are things that really bother me. Oh boy. Sarah Ramy asked, is art school worth it? I will just cut to the chase. If you get a full ride scholarship, heck yeah. Like, don't say no to education, but we'll say no to education that's $80,000. To keep it really brief, if you're thinking about art school, like, you could take $80,000 to $100,000 and go to art school and learn kind of things about art. The thing about art school is they do not teach you technique, right? They are not there to help you develop your skills in any way. Some of the teachers might do demos, and that's cool, but are you really paying thousands of dollars for a little demo when you could go to, I don't know, I'll use David Cassan as an example. He offers workshops for $300 that are on Zoom calls, or like, you have to ask yourself, like, what am I going to art school for? How is it going to benefit me? You know, they're not going to teach you anything about business. They're not going to teach you anything about the industry aside of like their own personal experiences, which everybody's going to have different ones. So like, do you really want to take that money and go learn nothing and have to wake up at 6 a.m. and be in class for 8 hours just to critique? Or you could take all that money and travel Europe and take workshops with the greatest living art masters of our time. Or you could buy a house. Let's see, we can do this one from Joanna Strange, who's asking, how do you deal with poor mental health while it's having to keep your routine and earning a living? Longtime follower, so glad you're filming again. Yeah, man, I've been there. I've been there. It's hard, and it's getting harder, and it will get even harder. I think that like, as long as you can have a routine, at least like in the morning to get yourself going, it just helps to create normalcy, to hold yourself accountable, to care for yourself even when you're feeling at your lowest. So like, I'll just give you an example of like my morning. No matter what, I get up, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, I make the bed, I take Toshi out, give Toshi food, eat breakfast, like a full nutritious breakfast. I do my Duolingo. That is like my morning routine every morning. It doesn't change. If after that, if I'm having a day where like I feel like I'm so depressed that I can't move, okay, it's time to take the day off. But at the bare minimum, what I will do is I will make sure that I am clean and my bed is clean. So I will take an everything shower, which is like great for like sensory and just getting back into your skin. And like, I have like fancy soaps that smell really good. Like if you can pick a soap with an essential oil that like brings back memories for you. Like for me, it's lilac. Where I grew up, my childhood house where I grew up, we had lilac bushes that would bloom like crazy during the spring. So I have soaps with like lilac in it. So it always kind of like just softens my mood a little bit. And then I will wash all of my sheets. And if I'm gonna spend the entire day in bed, it's fine as long as I'm a clean person in clean sheets. And like that alone, just being a clean person, a clean body within like clean fabric, that sensory is very, very nice. So at least like if you have to like rot in bed the entire day, at least like you did all of your morning routine, you took care of yourself, you brushed your teeth, everything like that, and you can just rest. And like, just as a reminder, like that's what depression is. Like it's a deep rest. And I just feel like it's your body signaling to yourself like, hey, I need to reset a little bit. I need to like actually fully rest. Which like, I don't know like what your career is or what you do for a job, but that is exactly what prevents us from getting the rest that we need. Capitalism ruins everything. Profit motive ruins everything. But I wish you luck with that. And sometimes like overall, I'll just say like, make sure you celebrate the small victories. make sure you acknowledge of anything that's good. Like if you go outside and there's a soft breeze, hold on to that. You know, it's these little things that you need to build yourself back. And I feel like when people are really low, they just think like, oh, I need a really big win and I need to win the lottery. So you make the stakes really, really high for yourself to kind of like improve your situation, improve your mood. When I'm telling you, it's the little tiny bricks that you lay that'll help you come back out of that. That was a really cool Q&A. I'm really enjoying connecting with you guys again. And I will just remind you that I don't think I'm going to be able to upload at the same capacity that I did in the past. I will be able to do it just like as I have time, which is not a lot. But it's great to connect with you guys again. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, leave a comment for the algorithm, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.